What's up, guys? My name is Timbo, and today, in a sort of unorthodox type of video for this channel, we are going to talk about The Division. Now, coming from someone that loves to play Destiny, when I first saw The Division back in 2013, I immediately knew that that was a game that I wanted to play. And even when more information about the game was released, the graphics and gameplay didn't look as nice, people started trash talking it, I still played the beta with my friends and was having fun with the game. I was still on board. However, back in February after the beta, I made a video about The Division talking about 3 main issues I had with the game at that point. And looking back on it now, it's clear that many of my predictions about the full release of the game would come true, and that some of the issues I talked about to this day are still not fixed, and, in my opinion, play a big role in why The Division for a lot of people is dead. The 3 issues in my video were an invisibility glitch, a problem with the rogue system and the dark zone, and a concern about the longevity of the game. And the fact that 2 out of these 3 things are still an issue with The Division months after release, and the fact that the 3rd issue was just a glitch doesn't really say too much good about the game. Now, don't get me wrong, I had a lot of fun with The Division and I still want to play it, but I feel like I have to force myself to enjoy it. I don't hate The Division. There are a ton of things in the full release of the game that I love, but I always get the same feeling when I play it. The Division is simply a game that I want to like more than I actually do. Other games have much bigger problems to fix, and the thing that aggravates me most while I play The Division is that when I am playing it, I can clearly see the awesome potential that the game still has. Because to me, the main reason as to why The Division is dying lies within its content. Now, I hate to compare The Division to Destiny because I think it's been a little bit overdone, but in order to get my point across, I feel like I have to, okay? I don't know anything about, World of Warcraft, Diablo, or any other games that have the same type of gameplay structure as The Division, so just bear with me. Now, don't get me wrong, Destiny, especially in year 1, had its fair share of problems. However, there are literally millions of people that play Destiny still to this day, 2 years after its release. And that is really for one reason. It's a fun game, it's fun to play. Some people, of course, might have bought Destiny for different reasons other than getting loot, doing missions with friends, and leveling their guardians, and those people are those that left the game, put in the YouTube comments section, people still play this game, and think it sucks. However, for people in the Destiny community, there was always fun to be had, especially in its endgame content. Destiny raids and simply playing with your friends, getting awesome exotic loot to wear and weaponize, dropping after hours of grinding was rewarding, and included the most fun gameplay experience I have ever had while playing a video game with friends. And even now in Destiny, there are multiple ways to hit the maximum power level, catering to whatever your gameplay style is, PvE or PvP. Going into a raid with 6 players and scouring a new huge area with new enemies and gameplay mechanics is amazing. Having to work with your team to figure out a boss mechanic and then executing it makes it that much more rewarding when you kill him because you used your brain and teammates to beat the encounter. This is the area where The Division lacks in its endgame. While going into an incursion may take about the same time as figuring out a single boss mechanic in a Destiny raid, the ways to reach the end goal are much less gratifying. All of the Division encounters, whether it be an incursion, dark zone, or challenging mission, revolve around the same mechanic. Shoot bullet-sponging enemies until dead. Dodge mortar. Repeat until boss die. It's not creative, it's not tactical, it's not interesting, it's not fun. And when every single encounter is like this, in what's supposed to be the endgame, it really gets boring and stale really fast. And this directly goes back to when I talked about the longevity of the game in my other Division video I mentioned before. Back then I was concerned more about the dark zone, saying that if the dark zone is the same in the full game as it is in the beta, aka running around back and forth to landmarks, killing the same bosses in the same locations, extracting loot, and running into players that may or may not shoot you, then the game would get boring for a lot of people pretty fast. And since obviously that is what the Dark Zone is, I think that it did get boring for a lot of people and they stopped playing. And I could get into the mechanics of the Dark Zone and the rogue system and stuff like that. I think that they should still add PvE missions in the Dark Zone. Like you walk up to a building, you can enter a building that you haven't been in before, and there's like this special mission and blah blah blah. It doesn't just revolve around, oh look, there's a guy here, but that's probably, that never happened. I thought that might actually be a thing, but it never did. But I think talking about the Dark Zone as itself is something a little bit off topic and would be better if it was put aside for another day. However, I will say that I thought it had some problems in the beta, I still think it has some of the same problems now, as well as some other things like signature skills and incendiary bullets. I find that stuff kind of cheap and they break the game. What the Division needs is simply better variety in its missions and incursions, and maybe a slight tweak to how loot is earned in terms of increasing your character's gear score. I'm sure there are some other issues people have with the game, but in my own personal opinion, this is the biggest problem that the Division has currently. And I understand that Destiny and other games have fewer restrictions in lore as far as fighting mechanics. The Division can't have all of these crazy mystical buffs and debuffs because it's supposed to be set in a real, gritty world. But at the same time, that does not give them a free pass for making all of the missions about shooting guys that infinitely spawn while missiles are shot at you relentlessly until you kill a boss or move a box somewhere. Add variation to enemies, make some of them have dogs. There are clearly dogs in the game. Add guys that run at you with bombs on their chests, like a cursed thrall or something, I don't know. Add fighting mechanics that don't revolve around just constantly shooting bullet sponges. Be creative and think of something to spice up the game. You can be creative like Destiny and Warframe and World of Warcraft and games like that while still being grounded to the roots of reality. The Division desperately needs something, and if it doesn't get it soon with its DLCs about to come out, everyone except a few really hardcore players will fade away, because a lot of people already have. So I'm not making this video to hate on the Division. I'm stating my thoughts because I want this game to be great, and even though it's not the same game that was shown to us in 2013, it still has a lot of potential. I'm just like a lot of people that wanted a tactical third-person looter shooter with intelligent AI, and instead what we got is this unorchestrated chaos you're seeing on the screen. I personally still have hope for the Division's future, but I'm someone that is fully aware that if it doesn't change, I will leave and play something else. I can and have played and still play Destiny for hours at a time. I can't say the same about the Division. For the people that are able to play the Division religiously, I envy you. But for the majority of people, that's not the case. Because as I said before, the Division is a game I want to like more than I actually do. But that's all I got, guys. If you enjoyed the video, a positive rating is always appreciated. Leave your thoughts about the Division respectfully in the comments section down below. Share this video with your friends and make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.